Working for you. A weekly talk radio program which highlights developments of national interest and the activities of your St. Kitts Nevis government. Join host Lesroy Williams as he presents news, views, reports, and interviews about everything regarding the activities of the Team Unity government and the building of our communities and the development of St. Kitts Nevis. Tune in and call in to interact with your government and share your views regarding the upward forward development of your community and our beautiful Twin Island Federation. Working for You is weekly, every Wednesday live from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on ZIZ Radio, Win FM, and Sugar City FM with rebroadcast on participating stations. Working for You.
Welcome to this edition of Working for You, which is a production of the St. Kitts Nevis Information Service. It airs live on ZIZ and Win FM and Sugar City Rock from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Wednesdays. And today I have some very special guests. I'm going to introduce them to you soon. But before I do that, I need to let you know that this program is also streamed live on Facebook. So if you log into your Facebook account, you can search for SKNIS Media and you can view the program live every Wednesday. Now, having said that, the Department of Community and Social Development has been proactive in taking their programs to the people who need them the most and working along with communities to improve the lives of its members. So on today's show, to speak better about those programs and how they are delivered, I'm joined by Anne Wigley, who is the Acting Director of Community and Social Development, Andrea Keynes, who is a Home Care Officer within that department, and Delroy Prentice, who is a Community Development Officer. And my extra special guest today is Mrs. Matilda Brown. 87-year-old Matilda Brown resides at King Street, and I'm told she has participated in almost every event held for the month of older persons this year. So clearly a better social life than I have. We're going to begin with an overview of the activities held for the month of older persons. And Ms. Wigley is going to share with us some of the things that had taken place over the past month. But before we go into the details of that, allow me to share some information with you. The month of older persons is observed in St. Kitts and Nevis, and it builds upon the International Day of Older Persons, which was designated on October 1st by the United Nations General Assembly. This year's theme was Stepping into the Future, tapping into the talents, contributions, and participation of older persons in society. It's a lengthy theme, but it has a lot of meaning behind it. According to the Minister of State with responsibility for social services and community development, Senator Wendy Phipps, the theme was a declaration of the imperative for inclusiveness of our senior citizens in everything we undertake. Given their various gifts, talents, skill sets, money, labor, love, and sacrifice, all of those things that they would have invested in their families, other people's children, their communities, jobs, and churches, and the economy, a lot of the events that were held last month sought to achieve this goal. So, Ms. Wigley, if you can tell us, how did the month go for community and social development, and how did you set out to accomplish this goal of inclusiveness?
Thank you again for having us here. First, I must let the public know that a year or two ago there was a theme which stated, nothing for us without us. So we adapt that and saying that the seniors will discuss with them what they would like to do, not what we want them to do. And they decided last year for picnic, going to the movies, having ball, dinner, also going on the motorcade, because they see the young ones going, they wanted to have also a motorcade. See, she's laughing. And a variety. So we mixed it. And based on that, also, they were crying out, saying that we are only doing something in October. And what about the other months? So 2 years ago, we started going through not just October as delegated to the world, but we in St. Kitts adapt even the entire year. So we have different functions, In February, Brimstone Hill adopt us. So in February every year we go there and spend this Sunday afternoon, relax and mix with Mr. Pension and so on. Then in April we have our fun day we started. We went to Kim Collins, and this year we went to Edgar Gilbert, and we have running, lime and spoon, you name it, just like the teenagers. And they really enjoy that. Then in May, we also now knew something new. We adapt that month is Centenarians Month, and the 31st is the day that our centenarians are being honored. We have over 12 centenarians and we visit them regularly, but on that day they are pampered. And then we had other schedules, but sometimes the weather changed. We had a picnic, which was scheduled. We had a movie night, which also had to be postponed. So now we are having it in October. So this month we started with the church service at the Catholic Church in Sandy Point, which was well attended, over 100 elderly. Then we had our fun day in Nevis, where we went over to Nevis and they had a parade to Charlestown. We joined them there. Then we had our picnic in Frigate Bay. We couldn't go on the beach because of the weather, but we enjoyed it. It was fun. And at the same time, Nevis came down and went on the scenic railway, etc. So we bound together. And the next one was supposed to our movie, which the movie that we wanted to see did not arrive. So it's now this week Saturday, which is the 10 Commandments we'll be going to look at. And then Sunday we went on our motorcade. So we had our mini motorcade and it was well attended and people enjoyed it. Some of them never seen certain part of the islands and they reminisce. So it was very, very good. And I'm thanking the people for that. So our movie night is Saturday and that would finish. Then we honor some of our seniors in the various community, which will take place next week.
Wow. Sounds like a lot of fun.
A lot of fun, and I would like the people to know we are not overdoing it. The seniors are the one who ask for it, and they're not tired. They're still asking for more. So the more they get, is like the bones get more active. They don't, when they go out. So we are not overdoing it. We are making them stronger.
Well, overdoing it, I think, is a relative statement to make, because one of the things people need to realize is the same way you would put programs in place for young people, the same way you would put programs in place for, like early childhood, babies, toddlers, you come up through all those different stages. It's equally important to have programs for when you reach to that later stage in life. So clearly, it's keeping them active and keeping them involved in the communities, yes?
Yep. Some persons were saying, will you take motorcade? These people, we can't. I said, no.
But it's probably exciting for them.
Exciting for them, and they're strong. I'm serious. We underestimate these seniors.
Was it exciting for you, Mrs. Brown?
I love it.
See? So tell us about your experiences during the month of October and all these different activities, and which one was your favorite?
Well, the favorite one was the going around the island, because I don't know much about the country places at all. So I enjoyed to the max.
Prior to the motorcade, when you went around the island, when was the last time you would have gone through the land like that, as we say?
I can't even remember to count the years that I haven't been through the land. I'm telling you, so I was glad for the opportunity to get out, and I was feeling fresh and nice. And Miss Wigley, she was seated right side of me and telling me all the different places and the projects and whatnot, and where she went to school. She showed me the place where she went to school and everything, and I enjoyed to the max.
And things have changed, haven't they?
Oh yes, but nothing still can beat the old time days. Because although all these nice things going around, so much crime still happening. For in my day, these things. It used to be in fighting, and so we fight, we slap with the box or whatnot. No guns, no drugs was around. You could leave the place open and you go all over the place. Now as you go down the road, they come back, you got to lock. How people to get in, I don't know, for you lock down in the night and they still get in. But I enjoy it to the max, thank God.
You're going to the movies this weekend?
Yes, I do.
You got more plans this weekend than I do, you know, Mrs. Brown. You realize that?
Well, I watch the TV home, you know, but I have a little idea of the picture, and I really going out, for I sure will enjoy it.
You want a date? Because I'm free, like I said. I'm free this weekend.
She's invited.
Yes, it's free. No, she don't want to come because she ain't getting the senior citizen line yet. She may
No,
feel that.
we will get her in.
She's trying to say I'm too young to how you lame, so what are some, so did you attend some of the events last year?
Yes, I did too. I couldn't go to Nevis because I don't. Long time, years I have been to Nevis, and I don't want to go up there and feeling sick, so I stayed home. But I had the invitation to go, but I don't want to give nobody no trouble to run up and down with me, so I stayed home. But I heard that, and I see everything on the TV. Thank God. So it was good.
So what are some of the things you would still like to see, given all this effort to make sure that you get out and that you're involved, you're moving?
Well, thank God I do everything for myself.
Oh, fabulous.
I go, my daughter live Taylor's, and nearly every day I walk up there and come back down, and all roadways downtown walking around to get, you know, the limbs, they get limber, they ain't get too sticky up. So thank God, and I give him thanks that he's still taking me through. And I enjoy the month of us to the maximum. Can't complain.
And you know, I don't know if the social and community development and the youth planned it, but the month of older persons leads right into youth month. So your month ended yesterday, and youth month begins today. So I think it's a nice
combination.
Yes.
You know,
it's very nice.
I said all the time, and I am not really boasting, but they follow us because this elderly senior month has been dubbed from before 2000, way before. So we've been there, and we are happy that other persons. But sometimes they say, well, miss, no, it is our month. You came in, literacy month, the agriculture, everything is happening in October. But we were the one there as international, so they adopt us. So we are happy that they follow us, and it works well with the youth and the senior. Shows that from youth you get to senior. Okay?
Well, I think from this stage we can talk about some of the other programs and services that you have to assist older persons in the community.
In the community, we do various things, and here we have an example. We have our home care officer.
This is where Miss Keynes comes in,
yes,
who is a home care officer,
and she been here since 2001. That's when she started. So she's old enough, capable enough, and she's able to explain the entire program. And if anything, I will come in. But here is where I will allow Andrea Keynes.
You're next in the batting line, Miss Keynes.
To say what the home care officer does, what they're about, and how she think it has been for the past years.
So first you can tell us about what your job entails exactly.
Good afternoon, my name is Andrea Keynes, the home care officer for District 1. I've been doing this job for 16 3/4 years. I love my job. I look forward daily to go do it. We assist the elderly in various areas in life. We take them to the doctors, we comb hair, cut nails, give baths, breakfast, do a light lunch. Sometimes we go be on call of duty. We depend on the nature or the complaint of the client, we may have to wash. right? But we take them shopping, we take them for walks. Sometimes we sit and we chat with them, take them to the doctor, take them to the hospital. Yeah, that's basically what we does. There are some of the other workers out there go way beyond call of duty, way in terms of going to the bank with them, social security, the private, personal aspect of life. We are there to assist the elderly.
You started saying all of that, and immediately I wondered how many home care officers are there?
We have about 90.
At the moment we're supposed to, but we only have 17.
Okay. Throughout the island.
Throughout the entire island?
Yes.
And lately, Step Up.
Step.
They gave us, so we have 4 from Step that work with us. They were trained, we had training, so they were trained and they work along with us. And what we are trying to do from that area is those, after a while, if anyone drop out, we appoint them because they've been working with us for a while. So we have persons from Step.
So what age do you have to get to be considered an older person? Is there a particular age that you have to
65
hit?
and over.
65 and over.
In St. Kitts it's 62 because our social security is 62.
Oh, so you use that as your mark?
Yes, and other countries, but it's 65 is the benchmark.
And about how many persons do you visit and assist and care for in District 1?
Right now I have 15 names. 15.
And your assistant, I know I see you with another young lady.
Yes, my assistant.
Are the 2 of you for District 1 only?
Yes. And District 1s include Newtown, Taylors, Frigate Bay, Birdwalk. Yeah. We see at least 5 to 6 per day based on what we have to do for each person. But by the end of the week, we should see the 15 persons. Because everyday task is not the same. We don't see the same person every day unless, depending on what we have to do. Like baths and breakfast, we visit them every day.
And is it a situation where you at least try to see all of those persons in 1 week?
We have to see all persons, the 15 person by the end, Friday afternoon finish work. We must have a report that we visit each person throughout the week.
And what are some of the experiences that you have had looking after and assisting these people that you can share with us? Something that has really touched you the most and something that has really troubled you?
I like that question and I boast about it. One of my greatest experience I've had over the past years, where I had a very lovely opportunity to go to Belgium.
Belgium?
Yes, I used to look after an elderly lady, and the daughter was pleased with my service, and I got a trip to go to Belgium. I had 3 months there. Yes.
That is absolutely fantastic, and I think that's a big way of showing appreciation.
Yes, indeed.
And it's important for people to understand you don't have to give her a trip to Belgium.
No.
Other ways of showing appreciation
Yeah.
is because it might be hard to match a trip to Belgium for 3 months. But other ways of showing appreciation.
One of
is
the things I
important.
tell people, even if it's just to say thank you, it goes a mighty long way. Because, for instance, sometimes we out there looking after the elderly persons, and persons die, and they don't mention the ministry. They don't even mention us, the workers.
No, thank you.
And we meet them in the street. I didn't know, so Mr. or Miss so-and-so passed up. Oh, I didn't tell you. You know, that it cuts.
Hurts.
It cuts, and it cuts really, really deep. Because we are the one out there going daily, and we go be on call of duty for these persons. And when the last minute come, there's no recognition of us.
Tell me, is there a particular criteria that people have to meet before you can go and visit them?
Yes, we have to go to the homes and do an assessment. And based on the assessment, you can be qualified to get the service. Or you can also go on the birthday list. And sometimes we still pass and say hi, hello, because we might know the person in the various communities.
That's what I would like people to know, that yes, we cannot go in every house, but these are the ones who really don't have anyone, they don't have children, or they die, or things they do. But we have a list with persons out there in the community who are 65 and over. Some persons were very reluctant in saying the age and telling they don't want anybody, so they cannot vex with us because we cannot force you. Persons, they just didn't want to be on the program, they didn't want to anything, so that's fine. Now I think it's catching on, and people are saying that, oh well, look, you didn't invite me, you didn't, but you have to be on it in order to be invited. So we encourage persons to look after the people. But at the same time, we have a register where we'll have them and they will be invited to things. We don't want everybody be on our program to bathe and so. No, we are like our good lady here. She looks after herself. We don't look after her at all. But she comes out on our programs, and that is what we are encouraging, to look after the people. But at the same time, if we have a register, we know where you are. Like Andrea says, she go out and she sees someone, good morning, how are you, darling? Yes, I'm fine, and pass on, but at least we show some kind of appreciation. And you go the next day, we see someone. You don't have to be on a bad list to be part of us. We encourage persons but some persons, even in the bank, we try to help with line, and they don't want to be seen in a seniors line. I don't know what is the problem. I go in the seniors line, and what are you doing there? Well, I'm a senior, 62 and over after all. Come on, I'm feeling good. So that is what we like to let people know. Don't be ashamed, because age is honor.
Can you tell me more about this assessment that you conduct in order to verify somebody qualifies or not?
The assessment sheet, the questions that they're based on how much persons live in the household, your bills, like to have a copy of the bills, your income, that's basically it. You have to do a medical, so we have an idea of what your complaint is. What service would you like from the home care program? That's basically it. And some person would quickly answer the questions and give the necessary information, and some person would be very, very reluctant, and they don't. So some would get you right away, and some would take a longer period of time.
Tell me about one of your most troubling experiences. You can choose.
It's so much, is which one to choose.
Oh,
we go daily and visit some clients, and the families at the end, it does not assist in no way at all. They're living right in the house, and they do not. They leave everything up to us.
So you visit and take care of all the persons who live with other family members?
Yeah. Yes. To go in, have to bathe, make breakfast.
You always wonder why.
It's like in the next room, actually, right there.
You always wonder why that those children are from your family, children and auntie and what, and you there, and still a care person to come in to look after them, comb their hair and all of that. It is shame.
But sometimes they actually leave the elder persons there and gone to work, leave them for us, the officers to come in and do whatever.
And look after them. Serious.
Wow.
And cases like those, it hurts. You see people walk around town every day, and it puts you to wonder. And sometimes they get your phone number, they call you. You went to visit Tanti, you went to visit Mommy.
Wow.
Or don't forget to go check on Mommy, the breakfast on the table. And they're going to work.
Maybe you can share some of your other challenges with us, since we're already on the topic. What are some of the other challenges you face, so people can get a better appreciation of the work that you do and some of the things you have to cope with on a daily basis in the execution of your duties?
You leave an elderly person today in one state of mind, and tomorrow you're going to meet them in a total different state of mind. That hurts. Because, for instance, here's that you're trying your utmost best to get the person better per se in terms of your presence. Today you sit and you laugh and talk with them. Tomorrow you're going to make them very sad. Like, what happened, Granny? What happened, Miss Paul or Miss Tutor? What happened? What went wrong? They can't answer. But then as you go along, go through the way, they might be able to open up and explain whatever would have happened the night that you left them in such a good spirit. Something would have gone wrong in the home. And we take the reports to a supervisor and we try to deal with it. But then when the supervisor comes to the home, they're not open to explain what they would have told us because of fear is in the home. So, these are some of the issues we have to deal with in society. It's sad to say, but elder abuse. It is out there.
Do we have anything in place to tackle that sort of problem?
You must have evidence. Once you have evidence to prove that this elderly person is being abused, you can take it to a different level. So yes, it is there, but it's not like high up in the air, so persons don't know it is there, but yes. But you must have evidence. It's not just a word of mouth, or you must have evidence. And sometimes the evidence, it is there to be seen by us, the home care officers. You may see the bruise on the elderly person's skin, or some of them ain't get nothing to eat for days, and they live with family members.
So what is there anything on the books, or what can community and social development do in cases like that? For example, I'm asking because I know in situations that involve children, we have a better idea of what recourse is there. But I think this is a very important part to highlight when it comes to abuse, where all the persons are concerned, and to say what recourse is there for them.
It's some similar, but we have to have proper evidence, and then the legal department will take it. But again, sometimes the parents also are reluctant because it's their children, and they're afraid of what will, so they don't want to speak. So that is our challenge, and we have to think that you have, beat, as you said, beat, and it's there, but this elderly abuse is not just hitting. As Andrea said, sometimes we have to, because they will get their social security money, and they will take their money, take it, and don't feed them. They will take their money and do things. That's elderly abuse, not just hitting them. Taking, for example, again, they don't want them to, Miss Wigley, I want them to go carding home. They want to push them off. So push them off into the carding home. They don't want to have time. But then they're in the carding home, but they're still going and taking their social security. That's wrong. If you don't want the people, if you don't want the apple, then you don't want, you have to take the one. But so if you don't want, then the money should go back, because government is now looking after the person, not you. Put your parents there and then still going and grabbing the social security. That's elderly abuse. It is not just hitting, it is a lot of things, and a lot of people out there, and I'm appealing, it's not right. This is why they said do good for good to follow you.
Now what we're talking about seems like a mammoth undertaking,
Yes,
but this is just one aspect of what community and social development does.
Yeah.
We have Mr. Prentice here, Delroy Prentice, who is a community development officer, so he still has his story to tell about his experiences in the field and what he does. So tell us firstly about what it is to be a community development officer.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you to Nevis, Delroy Prentice, Social Services and Community Development. What we do at Community Development, we engage community stakeholders such as schools, churches, individuals, groups and organizations in activities that lead towards community cohesion. How do we do this? I'll just list out a bunch of persons we help and type of activities that we do. So what we believe in everyone should have a voice in developing and shaping how they want their community to be. So with schools, a lot of the activities we organize in schools, and there are 5 officers island-wide. My zone stretches from Central Bastia, which includes portions of Shadwell community, New Road, the entire McKnight area, St. Johnson's Village, Buckley's, Camps, stretching all the way down to Trinity, including West Farm, Boyd's, Palmetto Point.
You said this is you alone?
Yes. Yeah, but I like to say everybody is a community development officer, because we all want these communities to develop. So in schools you can find our officers engaging in symposiums, encouraging young people to get their education, because we feel that young persons right now are drifting away from schools and getting into bad behavior. So you can find us in these schools telling young persons, sharing our experiences as well. Like me, when I was growing up, I kind of had a little bad streak in school, so I tried to share that experience with kids, that even though persons didn't expect me to finish high school, I graduated university. So when I speak to them, they're amazed to see, hey, not because you're bad, not because people view you as bad, you can definitely change your future, but through education. We also encourage them to stay away from antisocial behavior such as fighting, lewd conduct, gang activity, staying away from teenage pregnancy, We also do a lot of parenting sessions as well that helps children and parents to have a better respectful relationship of each other. You can see us doing health and wellness exercises in these schools as well. We do pizza making sessions as well, because sometimes you'll find that parents, it's not everybody can afford a $60 Domino's large pizza, but we know children like pizza, so we go into these schools, we teach them how to simply make the pizza that's $60 at Domino's for like $15. So a lot of times they enjoy it. I recently completed one in Bronte Welch, and now the principal there tell me that they are selling pizzas now. So it's good to see that. We also do awards for best community parent. Our community parents are good parents, but we offer award for parents who are not only involved in their children's lives, but other children in the school as well. So if I have a child who goes to Irish Town Primary School, not only do I drop off my child at school and make sure that they do their homework, but I'm also in the schools as well, assisting other children who may not have that strong parent in their life. So we do awards to honor those community members as well. Elderly assistance, we partner with the department, with the unit, social services unit, in planning and executing the elderly fund days. We also visit our sick community members, birthday packages for seniors. Last year we did a card in home can drive, which was hugely successful, because what we feel that these elderly persons are the ones who made it possible for us young people in St. Kitts to own a car, own a house, get a visa. So we don't want, when they go to the card in home, they just pile up there and nobody remembers them. So we had a drive where we went into the schools and we taught young persons about respecting their elders, and we asked them to bring one can item that would have been donated to the card in home. And I swear to God, we could have filled the card in home for like 6 years. The amount of food we got, it was overwhelming to see that support from our young people. Another stakeholder in the community who we do a lot of work with are the disabled persons. Persons in St. Kitts tend to not take disability serious, because if I'm in a wheelchair, I don't care about somebody who's in a wheelchair. I'm not in it. And that's the attitude that is in the country right now. So what we try to do is we do a lot of promotion and awareness campaigns to let persons know that, hey, we, the Department of Social Services, we lease our McKnight Community Center to an organization by the name of St. Kitts Nevis Association of Persons with Disability. What this organization does is it rehabilitates, it cares for, it teaches skills to persons who may, one, be blind, have hearing problems, have maybe a disability, to one, feel included in society, learn a skill that can lead to employment, and just have an overall place where they can come and interact with each other. We help them with planning when they have their week of activities that'll be coming up later down in December. Ideas on which we feel that can really strike a heart in getting persons in the community to understand that disability is a serious issue. I'm currently also, with the help of Miss Wigley, working on a project next year that, because the bathroom in the McKnight Community Center is not, it wasn't built for persons with disability. So what we want to do is, by next year, we're hoping to have it renovated so that persons there can actually feel comfortable using a bathroom that is designed for them. And recently, with the help of Miss Wigley as well, I was introduced to a gentleman by the name of Mr. Hans Wolf.
Yes.
He works with the European Union. He's from Netherlands, and what he came here for, he just basically wanted to find out how can the European Union assist persons with disabilities to be more integrated into society, whether it's housing, whether it's job assistance, medical assistance. So we do a lot of work with disabled persons as well. We do a lot of work with community groups as well. Our department is responsible for registering community groups. So if there are persons in the community who feel like, hey, there's no voice in our community, we want to start a group that will be the voice for the community. The department is responsible for registration of that that group. Once the group becomes registered now, then you are open to a lot of the outside funding that comes in from USAID, UNICEF, United Nations, these type of organizations. We partner with them with fundraising projects. Recently in the McKnight community, I did a fundraising drive. There was this player who played for the Garden Hotspurs by the name of Javier Bentos Gayton. He got his leg injured in an accident. So a bunch of community members came to me and they was like, hey, let's do something for Bentos. So what we did was we hosted a movie night / after party, we called it, where persons from the community came out. We had drinks, we had food, we had the support of the department, we have the support of Mr. Jonel Powell, Marcella Leibod, basically everyone in the community who wanted to see Bentos get back on his feet. Also, we partner in community cleanups as well. With the help of Miss Wigley again, I'm looking to complete a community cleanup with a gentleman by the name of Irvin Bat in the McKnight community. Use of our community centers for after school programs. So if there are parents out here who have children and after they finish with school they're just nothing to do, our community centers have karate classes, dance classes, these type of things that can help young people stay away from the troubles that are literally out here right now. And a huge part of what I do in community development, because I live in the McKnight community as well, so I work with a lot of at-risk youth, a lot of persons who are going and coming out of prison. Like my daily interactions with youth in my community who sit down on the corner, I meet with them often. I'm like, yo, what would it take for me to get you off the corner and in a job? And even if you don't want to work for people, like, what you're interested in doing. So that's if you want to make lemonade and you don't know how to do it, we can teach you how to make lemonade. What we do is I connect them with government officials, business partners, basically saying that, hey, here we have this young man. He wants to fish, but he's never fished before. So he may be a little timid in getting into that field. How can you maybe host a class for him? How can you connect him with getting the equipment? So these is a lot of ideas that I try to work with them with, because our young people right now, there are a lot of idle young people on the road just sitting there, have no idea what to do. I was one of those young people as well, and because there were people who saw potential in me and helped me to get away from that lifestyle is the reason why I'm probably here still today. So I try to just do back my part to ensure that I can help save as much as I can. What I do as well, a lot of the time when persons go to prison, we tend to say, oh, he in jail now, forget about him, not remembering that he'll come out of prison. And when he comes out of prison, if he comes out of prison thinking that, oh, society threw me in jail and had no idea, had no love for me, he's gonna come out and street a wild animal. So what I try to do is I try to go to HMP, visit them, find out, hey, how are you doing? How are you coping in here? Who comes to look for you? How is the structure set up for when you're released? When they're released now, what I do is I meet with them and say, how I can't literally give them a job, but what I can do is I can say, all right, if you don't have any CXC subjects or whatever, I can connect you with youth skills. I connect you with this person who can help you get these skills to become employed. If you want a food voucher, for example, you're not working, you can't eat. We don't want you to go rob nobody because you're hungry, because you know that's always the only thing. I'm going to eat and rob somebody. What I do is I introduce them to the social services side of the unit who can say, hey, well, here's a 2 to 3 months voucher to help you get something to eat until you get on your feet. For those who don't have a resume, for those who don't, because a lot of them, they didn't finish school, so they kind of feel like, oh, I'm scared to tell somebody I can't read. And I always tell them, like, you don't have to scared to tell me nothing, you know, because I know how the game go. Like, so what I do is I help them a lot with resume writing, job applications. When they tell me that, hey, I turned in a application to STEP, can you follow up on it for me? Or I turned in an application with Marriott, can you follow up on it for me? So we try to do a lot of that. Also, we work with other department agencies such as Ministry of Tourism, Ministry of Sports to hold community activities, whether sporting events. Right now the lights at the gardens are out, so a lot of the young men down there, they can't play basketball anymore. So I wrote to the Department of Sports on their behalf to try and get the lights out, because we know if these young men can't play basketball, they're going back on the corner, and we don't want them there. We worked with NEMA as well during the passing of Hurricane Irma, and what's the other hurricane was? Maria, with Hurricane Maria as well, because our community centers, we made them adequate for persons who may have shelter that cannot stand up to these hurricanes. So we renovated the centers, we put in some amenities for persons to come and stake it out in these community centers. So you find us working with a lot of people. But one thing I want to make clear is a lot of persons see us as community development officers and feel that we are the ones responsible for housing, and we always get the I need a house, I need a house, I need a house. Community and social development do not deal with houses. What we can do is, if you need help with filling out an application for housing, we can help you with that, and we can turn that into NHC. But we can go to NHC in a stronghold, strangle them and say, give Miss Wiggly a house because she came to me. Yeah, so that's just a bunch what we do in the department.
I think that's important to me. Yes, Mrs. Brown, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of work.
And he's speaking, I'm like, oh my gosh, this needed 2 programs. One for Mrs. Keynes and one for Mr. Prentice.
And a young man again, he's a real role model.
Yeah, I try. Especially,
thank you, and keep up.
Especially the community I'm from.
Yeah, God will bless you. Yes.
Thank you.
So, having said that, I think this is a good point at which we can open up the phone lines. You've shared so much so far, especially in the areas that you work, which I think is really important for people to know what it is you do. And if anybody has anything they'd like to add, a suggestion, or they'd like to ask a question, you feel free to do so. We'll open up the phone lines now. The numbers are 465-2555 and 718. This is the overseas line. 1-718-577-2916. I'll share those numbers again. If there's anyone who'd like to call, if you have a question or a comment or suggestion for either member of the panel, including Mrs. Brown, if you want to say something to Mrs. Brown, you can dial 465-2555 or 1-718-577-2916. So, Mr. Prentice, I wanted to ask about the same thing I asked Miss Keynes. What's one of the experiences you've had that you thought was the most touching, and an experience that you thought was the most troubling?
I'll start with the troubling first. Let's get that out of the way. Like I said, I'm from the McKnight community, so I tend to, my zone is gonna be always gangsters, bad boys. So you'll find me in a group on a corner talking to a bunch of young men, and instead some persons pass and ask, hey, what's going on, what this meeting is about, they'll stand off and say, oh, you see him up there with them gangsters? He probably one of them. Persons have literally gone and tell people I worked with, careful with me, because they've seen me in the company of gangsters. But if I'm not in the company of gangsters, who are going to help them? I have to be there. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So persons, rather than judge things from the outside, ask a question, get a more in-depth understanding of what's going on. My most positive, I have a bunch of positive experiences. It's just before this job, I was really not too privy on what's going on in my country. I just cared about myself. I had no idea about persons with disability. I had no idea about elderly people. I just cared about Jordans and gold chains. Yeah, literally. Yeah, this job totally changed me, man. It turned me into a humanitarian, want to get into philanthropy, want to help my elderly, see disabled persons become better. So it personally changed my life. This job has personally changed my life and made me a better person.
That is fantastic. So, do you have any upcoming projects that you can tell us about, in addition to what you mentioned about there was one you mentioned before.
Bathroom?
Yes.
Yeah. For 2018, I'm going to be focusing on young people heavy, because I find it strange, and I'm going to say this clear so our young people can hear it. I find it strange that whenever we say, hey, let's have a group meeting for young people to discuss why they feel left out in the planning, we only get 3 young people to show up. But when you hear Sugar Band about to play down the terminal or up 4th Street, the amount of young people show up. So for 2018, I'm going to be targeting the AVEC and Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College, and we're going to call it the Community Development Chat, because we don't want to make it a lecture, because young people don't like when you get up and talk and there's talk, they get fed up with that. So what you're going to find is we're going to be hitting these schools heavy. We're going to be finding out from them what type of projects are young people interested. Why is it that our elders can say, oh, back in the day you used to have young people so much in the communities helping it. Now in 2017 they're saying that you can't find young people anywhere. So that's my major focus next year, is getting our young people back into the spirit of community volunteering. It's not dying, but it just needs a little bit of resuscitation in it.
So how long have you been a community development officer?
I came back from university in 2014. 3 years.
Ms. Wrigley, I think you can speak from a departmental standpoint with some of the challenges overall.
As Prentice said, we are trying to work more with the disabled group, because they are part of us. All of us are disabled in some way. We can see it physically, but we have other things, so we must not bash them and leave them out of the loop. They are there, and we are pleased that we have a gentleman here who is very passionate about it, and we will try and do more for our disabled, and we are asking business places, other places, to make it more friendly for them. Going to their business place, you have a walkway where those with wheelchairs or even a stick can enter, because they are persons with disability. We are also asking, the complaint is that even vehicles would not stop if they see them, they don't help them. Well, at the moment they have a bus of their own that to help to take them around. If anybody who disabled would like, they can apply, but they will have to help with the gas to keep it going, because it's a cost for a vehicle like that. But they have their own bus now, and we are now also appealing to the general public, when and where we are getting a piece of land, to help us to build something for the disabled people, that they have their own little corner that they can meet and discuss. We don't know what will happen. Today you're up and something kind of bam, you could have an accident and you're disabled. So let us treat them with respect and love them. What happens sometimes, we have a story where even the bus that for the Cotton Thomas School, we have going around, and even some persons have their child and they would leave them there and go, don't even wait, because they don't want anybody to say that they have a child going on. We don't treat our disabled and elderly people right. We don't want anybody. You see the tourist ship also, and you see them pushing the people from a cruise, pushing them around, and we here don't even want to let somebody see that they're holding their grandmother or the disabled person. We have to get out of that concept. A passion is there. I'm serious. I don't like to see it. And when we have our elderly, as Andrew said, I'm not calling any name, but up to this week, you asked for something, up to this week, we went to a house that was called, yes, the person did the breakfast, but they left. The person is in bed. Yes, they came and brought the breakfast, but when we went there at 10,
it's still there.
Fly your hands, everything, because it's still there. The person cannot. You don't do that. You go, you carry, yes. Better you didn't bring it, thank you.
So the person wasn't in a position to get up
no,
and go to
but they make them put it on. No, so you must make sure. So if we didn't go, so we had to throw it away and go and get something, because it was fun. No, what I could advise is, long time ago, you used to take it. You know what we used to do? We have a bowl with water, and if you take it, you rest it
and the
On the thing and put it in the water, no ants and thing will get to it. At least that would help the person. No ants will get to, because there's a bowl with water and you put it in it and the ants is going to eat it. That's how long time people used to do. They didn't have any thing.
No.
So do, but please don't, as Andrea said, you live there and you're going to come out and leave your grandmother or mother in her pamper for the whole night. Whole night. Now this is the night now. This is weekend. We leave them on Friday, we look after them, and when we go back Monday, they have on the same pamper, they have on the same nightie, nothing changed. These are things that we meet, that we are faced with. It is a hard job out there, Miss Thing. It's not easy and people do not realize it. You do go back and we have to go into it and work with it. Pass by. Don't wait until they die. And then you hear a long sermon. Are you talking about this? No, stop it.
The death announcement.
The death announcement long from here to Nevis.
Because everybody wants to be included.
Right.
Water,
And then not even there for a cup of water to give that person. And then if you don't call the name and everything,
they vex.
But we have to look after people, not when they die, and then fight. We had a fighting for property. After the, and I did not see anybody.
Imagine that.
I did not see no one for the past.
I want my flowers once I live in.
2001, I remember going to that home, and the person died this year. Never seen anybody but one young man.
Lord.
The young man to call the thing. And now when the person died, everybody reach and even threaten to lock up the young man if they don't hand over key. These things are not right. We must be there for our people, not just when the thing is. I'm serious. I'm just talking how I feel.
You see.
Without calling anything, but we know who we are.
Well, we still have some time if you want to get in on the conversation. I know they've shared a lot of information, and there's so much that I wasn't aware of, and so many things that we still need to work on as a people, even though so much is being done. So a lot is being done, but there's still a lot to do. And if you'd like to participate in the program, maybe pose a question, maybe you have a suggestion as to how we can tackle some of these very issues, you can dial 465-2555, and that's the local number, or 1-718-577-2916. Those numbers are again 465-2555 or 1-718-577-2916. Miss Keynes and Mr. Prentice, what do you think needs to be done, or what do you think needs to happen for some of these things to be addressed?
Families need to step up to the plate and taking up their own responsibilities rather than leaving it for the government to put us, the home care officers, out there to take the whole bulk of the work. Come on board with us, the home care officers. We need the help.
So home care officers should be there to assist.
We're only there to assist
in dire
the family.
situations.
Yeah.
Where it absolutely better cannot be done.
Yes. So we're only there to assist, because based on the case, we're there half an hour to an hour and then we're gone. We're not there to sit half a day with the one person. We come, we assist, we do whatever, and then we move on to somebody else. It's the whole community. So if the families can come on board and assist us, we'll get the job done in a timely manner, and we can move on to assist other persons.
Or maybe even assist people who
because somebody walking in the street, like for instance, they coming on Baker's Corner there, and some person was around, the elderly lady. I was able to go and check her pressure, and it was high. The ambulance was on the way, so by the time they reach, I hand it over to them, tell them what I got, and move on.
Is this a lady who you usually visit?
I don't know the person, no. She was going to the bus, and she told the traffic warden that she wasn't feeling good, and then she just
right there on the sidewalk?
Right there, opposite the Seventh Adventist Church. Yeah.
Wow.
So we go to the communities, we face different things daily. Sometimes persons stop and Miss Keynes, for $5 and it's something to eat. You help. So families come on board. I mean, it will be so much sweeter and so much nicer, because then our load will be eased.
Do you find that it's gotten better or worse over the years?
It has gotten worse, to be honest.
It's gotten worse.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
Yes, it has gotten worse.
We have a call?
Yeah.
Yes, we have a call. So we're going to take this first
good
call for
afternoon
today.
to Miss Wigley.
Welcome to Working for You. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. You'd like to make a contribution to the program?
Yeah, this is the program that Miss Wrigley and you know when?
Yes, she's here right now.
Okay, she know me good. You see, Miss Wrigley talk some good things here because you see we need to make will before we die. You see that when they come and they thought that they don't get something, nothing there for them. I could tell you a story, you know. I went up in the hospital for the surgery and in the afternoon I can't get to come home because you know still me I'll get somebody who take me from there. I can't go on my own. And I have children, great grand and a stranger me how call come away. That me could get to come home in the hospital. You see how life goes?
Yes.
And when you're dead now, the fight come to our house. I could be a joke with somebody who never used to look after the father from a family. And when they hear he take dog sick and the talking and dead, everybody have been food. But after they hear you in and then again, they stop. Okay?
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your own experience with us, and that's important as well. The experience of older persons and what they have to deal with. Do we have any additional calls? No. Okay. Well, thank you so much, caller. And maybe somebody would have a suggestion as to what we can do to encourage family presence. Miss Wrigley, the caller said that you were familiar with them. I don't know if you recognize the voice and the story.
The story, oh boy. It's really true. The people don't like to hear the truth. But it is also, there's a story where this gentleman went and the doctor, he was sick, so his hearing, they took him because he couldn't hear. And all the family around the same, and then, but whatsoever, he was able to hear, so the doctor said, are you going to tell them that you could hear? He says, no, I'm going home. I would not say a thing. Because he was very sick, but he was able to put a thing that he can hear. And then they're planning. Who is going to get the house? Who is going to do this? Who will get that? And they're fighting. I want the car. And so on. And he there listening to them, and they didn't know he could hear because he got back his hearing aid, and they didn't know. And they're talking, and he just there. And when they finish, and they say, see, I tell you, we planned before he can hear. And when they finished and left, he just called a lawyer and tell the lawyer what to do, and did everything. And up to now, he died, and they didn't know he could hear. But when the will was read out, then they know that he heard what they were saying. So the gentleman's correct. We have to stop it. We have our children out there. There are persons with children. We have to look after our children. Yes, some of them will say they go in the carding home and put them there because he didn't look after me. He didn't support me and he didn't this. Okay, yes, fine. I usually say yes. But forget about that. You do your part, that you get your blessing. He did not do that, but you do your part. And God will reward you. Sometimes we see things happen, we say people walk up here. But you know, up there, you know.
The deeds.
It's your deeds and it isn't bad. You have it come back to haunt you. So I'm encouraging us, all of us, to do good. And you don't have to be your relative, as Andrew said, you see somebody, you help them along the way. I'm not telling you to take money out your pocket and do that. No, I'm just saying little deeds that go very, very far. So thank you, caller. I know.
Mr. Prentice, you have an opportunity now to tell us what are some of the things you think can be done in order to address some of the challenges you spoke about.
Yeah, my 3 areas of focus is persons with disabilities. Yeah, because I remember one time I was coming from the country in a bus, and like I remember I saw a lady, she was disabled, and it's literally like when she jumped in the bus, people was like vexed, like she jumped in the bus, like she ain't supposed to catch the bus too. And think it's people got to done with that. You check, because I could be able-bodied right now, jump in my car after 4 go walk, and somebody run into me and crash me car and then broke me back and then I'm disabled. Would I want to watch somebody? Would I then I'm gonna take it serious? Like, so I just kind of think it's people to done with them kind of thing. When you see people with disabilities, stop think it's people like to scan. You got to stop that. In fact, when I lived in foreign, like, you can't play with persons with disabilities, you know. You're crazy, like, it's trouble you're asking for here now. We just want to push them out the way, push them in the side, like, done with that. Young people, I like the Voice Cartel too. I like the popcorn, I like being in the dance hall, I like being in the street, I like the band, I like all of that. But you got to like your country too. You can't just only care about Sugar Band. You got to know, like, yo, what going on in my community? What going on with this person? What going on with that person? Because if we're going to come to a point where if we continue to adapt this Western lifestyle where it's just glorify the materialistic things, them, we're going to be in for a rude awakening when we see the Western culture is something that we shouldn't really be focusing on. So I would just like young people to really focus more on the country, you know, like where they say all the older persons them don't want to step down and let the young people them lead. But sometimes when I go meetings with these same older persons, like, I'm 31 years old and the person closest to my age is 54. There are no other young persons in there. So how come people going to step up and lead if the older person is not seeing them? But also calling on the older ones as well too. When you do see the young persons who are stepping up, kind of give them the key. Even if you're going to give me 24 hours, see, just let me drive the car from about 8 to 4 and then you can take it over. So I call on them to that. And I call on that how we young men them to, like, I want the young man them stop kill off one another. You check, like, I from McKnight and I could go anywhere. I could go anywhere I want. I could go village, I could go Newtown, I could go wherever I want the place come back like that. One man from McKnight could go up village and eat a raspberry pizza. I want them go up George Street up Newtown. I don't know if they got the good food up Newtown still. But I just want we young man them done with the killing my youth. You check too much girls and money out here for us. Forced to be killing off each other, you know. And we live in love, man. Get back to it was in the 70s and 80s, you know. If I got a problem with you and we's man, cause everybody like say, me's a big man, you know. Well, if you're a big man, act like it, talk out the problem with your brother, because all of us, I like either anything say, we all come here on a slave ship, you know. So at the end of the day, in some way we connected. Now kill off your black brother and fight with the white man capitalism, you know. Yeah, so no killing, treat with disabled better, and young people really step up and grab the bull by the hands.
It is. It's interesting that you should bring up Western culture, because a lot of cultures, Eastern cultures, in Asia especially, caring for the community
is sacred.
Almost comes first above the concerns of the individual.
Yeah, we need to get the
and a lot of African cultures are similar, where the community comes first. We are all working together to make sure the community thrives. So there's a lot more emphasis on communal entities and communal usage of things, and caring for the elderly and caring for young people. So there are different groups. People who are more vulnerable will get a lot more attention. I remember when I was in Taiwan, there were designated seating areas on the train for pregnant women and the elderly. So you couldn't sit in those at all if they were on the train. It was important to know that they come before you. You can stand, allow them to sit down. So I think we have to get back to a place where we just look out for each other. It's basic like that, yes?
Right.
And they look out for each other. Young man, as soon as they get in, if he's sitting and there's no space, they get up and let you sit. They respect that. Not here. They don't. They just look at, you know, it is different. So when we speak about them, we still have a lot to do, because they respect that. If they're sitting, and they get up and take my seat.
And that's how a community works. At the end of the day, works.
And the elderly respected. You dare not disrespect the seniors. But here we don't. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all those persons who work with our seniors throughout the years, who really help Sometimes they even call and say how things are going. They would call to say what is happening. So you have like Ashberries downtown. They give gifts all the time, nice perfumes for the elderly to smell nice. You have the City Shoe store, you have Hosfords, you have Island Purified Water who give us the water to keep energy going, and you have Sun Island Clothes, and this is Concairn Street below the Anglican Church there. That sell clothes just below the Anglican in the corner, the Indian clothes there. They always they always help with whatsoever, and they give. I would like to thank some of the churches, the Adventist school. They always give packages, care packages to the seniors without asking. They would call and say we have this to give. The Rotary Club, they look after us, and every year we have something, especially on Heroes Day, they give luncheon to the seniors. So I'm encouraging all those persons to help. And this year, with our picnic and everything, the elderly, I must now tell Wet Dirt, the DJ Wet Dirt, that he has been dubbed from the seniors as the best DJ in St. Well, I don't know, they don't go to other thing, but he has been dubbed as the best DJ because he played for us at our gala last year, and he went through and they were asking where he find his music, the lyrics, the old time Sparrow and so on. So he has been dubbed their band, right? So that is for DJ Wet Dirt. And I must also thank our school buses. They go way and beyond. They come out with us all the time. Sometimes we don't pay them on time. We're waiting payment. But they're there for us and they sacrifice. So I'm thanking them a lot for being there for us from the beginning to the end. And I'm also thanking the 2 safari bus who was on our mini motorcade. The seniors enjoyed it. It was Scooby-Doo and Mr. Edgins, those 2. And everybody, I hope I don't forget everybody who really go out and help. Scenic Railway for the ride, the seniors, they enjoy it. And the cooks, yes, Nigel Cook, Nevis, that's their favorite cook, Nigel. And Neville's, that's below the cinema up there, Neville's, yes. And Miss Fulton for the lovely food. They also recommend the food is delicious.
It was very good.
Oh,
very, very good. Very nice.
See?
Enjoy it to the best.
So we're thanking everybody,
Nice.
and nobody got sick, thank God.
Thank God.
And we're really thanking God for the weather hold up that we could have. And so thank everybody.
Do you have any activities coming up in December?
We don't, no.
Okay.
No.
So your final one is going to be held in November?
Yes, in November. We tried to 1 year, and we didn't have the car people. We had something in the carnival. We had a senior section in the carnival, but I haven't found that group gone, and I haven't found the next group to go into. But the PS, she was really asking me to have something for a seniors group. I don't know, but she really liked that we have seniors in the group. But,
I'm sure you'll keep us informed.
I will. If
we're coming on to the end of the program. So what would you like to leave with our listeners in closing?
In closing,
And what would you like to encourage them? Anything you want them to particularly bear in mind, given all that we've said?
well, to be honest, we want to work together for the betterment of our country. It's not just about some self, it's about all of us. Let us work. If there is a problem, let us trash it out. If there's something you don't understand, find out. And we work together for the betterment of our country. Our seniors are living much longer. We have so many centenarians, so many 90s, etc. And it is because you care for them. And we will encourage persons with their grandmother or their father, their aunt or what, go out and look for them, cherish them, because when they're gone, they're gone. So we like to also the young persons, as Prentice said, we like to encourage you. Let us, age and youth, work together, because we know these persons that age. We're not sure if you're going to reach there, but if you do well, you will reach that age. And I big up Prentice for what he said and what he's doing as a young man. And other people you can look up and be the same. You're not too down to get up, brush off, dust off and go and move on. Nothing is wrong with that. And our disabled persons, please be there for them. Help them if you see them instead of laughing, because they are all somebody's son or daughter or father or uncle. We are all one. Again, thank everyone for being there for us. Some of us we don't know, but you're on the behind the scenes. Some of us we know. And for 2018, we would like to do some more, which we will come back and say about, which it's in the pipeline, so I can't let it out yet. So we will come back before and let you know what we are doing. There are some changes, and you will be updated and you will know accordingly. So let us work together for the good.
Okay, Miss Keynes. Mrs. Brown, I'm not overlooking you. I'm leaving you for last.
The best
I
first.
wanted you to close the show, okay? Miss Keynes.
What I would like to say is us, the home care officers, to continue to encourage us to continue to go out there and continue to do a good job and be more appreciative in our community, and to encourage the communities as they see us go along to work along with us. Even the families in the communities, it's just to work along with us. We make our job a little lighter and show more appreciation.
Okay. Mr. Prentice?
Yeah, basically Miss Wigley touched on most what I was going to touch on, just caring. You need to get back the caring in St. Kitts, man. It's too much. If you're my friend, me care about you, and things don't need to be like that. So I want to see a caring St. Kitts where if you don't know me, but you see me thirsty, you'll give me a drink of water and vice versa, So let me get back caring in St. Kitts, man.
Okay, thank you so much. Mrs. Brown?
Well, what I must say is, I thank you all for having me this afternoon and to come, and I really enjoyed the month of the elderly last month, and I'm so thankful for these caretakers, and the Lord to have to bless them and guide them and give them more wisdom and understanding to take care of us. They are doing a mighty good job, especially this young gentleman there. He is a real role model for them, and I trust that the youths will take a pattern out of your book.
Thank you.
And I want to tell the young people that they could be more caring for one another. Don't, when any little thing happen between the two of you, you could talk it out, get together, ask God to give you the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding, and you can take it out. Do not play it out on no ammunition. It don't worth the while. And some of them, you're passing in the street, they will tell you, why you don't move from here, you see you all, will make you ain't gonna sit down, but I just tell them, God, have mercy on them, because they do not know what they said, what they say. And be yourself, they must be themselves. Don't watch nobody else with what they have. Beg the Lord to guide you and strengthen you, to give you strength. He says, for the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. And don't watch your friend because he have this nice car and that nice thing that you wanted. Work hard for what you want. That is what my mother used to tell me when I was growing up. And my mother died at 91 years old. And I take care of her until she dead. I ain't carry her in a poorhouse and hospital and dump on her like no garbage. Me and my daughter, and we look after her until she say, Amen. And I wish that all the other people, the young people especially, to take advantage of that, because God is good, and I thank you all very much, because it has some good ones, or some very nice young people out there. Can't say nothing about them, but you know the majority of them. So I trust that the Lord will speak to the heart and soften the heart to look after us.
Well, the entire country listens to this program. That was just a message you gave to St. Kitts and Nevis, yes?
The whole country?
Yes, the whole country. This is live on Win FM and Sugar City Rock and ZZ. And then on Thursday, it's rebroadcast, played again on Freedom FM and Vaughan in Nevis. So the whole country. That
so
message
they hear me?
Yes. They're hearing you right now
No,
today.
why you didn't tell me that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you understood, but you know now. So if you have anything else you want to tell them, you can tell them now.
Wow. Well, I thank
I
you
thought
all,
they briefed you accordingly.
and may God bless you all. All you is doing a very good job, and keep it up. May the Lord pour down His blessings upon you all and keep you in safe going. You're going out and you're coming in.
You have children,
Thank
you
you.
want to say anything to them, to tell them?
Oh, I had 4 loving children, 2 girls, 3 girls and 1 boy. Joan, she is the first, and she is my rock. The others is very good, but she is number 1. I have a next one in the States. She is very nice, but Joan called me every morning when she get up. She come down to see how I pass through the night. The first thing at morning she called me, she talked to me, she come. The last thing at night she called me to see if I gone into bed and how I'm doing. And I bless her, and I thank her for taking care of me up till today. So, Joan, hello. It's your mom. I love you very much. May God bless you and keep you all of you.
Okay.
And so her last name is Joan Brown. She carries
Joan Brown Connor.
Joan Brown Connor. So this is Mrs. Matilda Brown from
yes,
King Street.
from King.
So we can better identify Joan and her good yes? We want when Joan walk the street, people say, Joan, your mother give you a big up on the radio. Good job. Given
nice.
especially given some of the complaints and the challenges we heard about today.
No complaint, no fault.
Because our children are supposed to be a blessing, yes?
Oh my, she is number 1. Up to this morning, she came down to see what we're going to wear and how we're going to look.
Wow.
And may God continue to bless her and guide her and give her special blessing.
And I'm taking a little credit because I taught her in school.
And
Good teacher.
yes, she always speak about her teacher Ann.
Well, I want to thank all of you so much. I really enjoyed the discussion, and I enjoyed how candid you were in sharing your experiences. I think it was important for us to know exactly what happens, because like I said, Miss Keynes, I see Miss Keynes in my area all the time. She and her assistant
Benicia Wharton.
Vinicia Wharton.
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, Vinicia Wharton, home care officer in my district. And I think I appreciate it more when I see you guys going on foot, by the way, from house to house, and given the size of the district as well, and the amount of people you have to visit and all the things you do to help them. So I want to thank all of you, Mr. Prentice, you as well, for coming here, Mrs. Brown, Miss Wigley for assisting in organizing all of this. Miss Wigley, who is always willing to talk to us about the things that are going on in the department. So that wraps up our program for today. My name is Jacqueline Bryan. I was your host for today. I was sitting in for Mr. Williams, Lesroy Williams, who is on vacation. He's going to be back shortly, for those of you who are just wondering. And the program, like I said, will be rebroadcast on Freedom FM on Thursday from 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. and again on Vaughan Radio in Nevis from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. So if you missed it and you heard about it, and if you want to listen again, you can do so. So enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
Working for you. A weekly talk radio program which highlights developments of national interest and the activities of your St. Kitts Nevis government. Join host Lesroy Williams as he presents news, views, reports, and interviews about everything regarding the activities of the Team Unity government and the building of our communities and the development of St. Kitts Nevis. Tune in and call in to interact with your government and share your views regarding the upward forward development of your community and our beautiful Twin Island Federation. Working for You is weekly, every Wednesday live from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on ZIZ Radio, Win FM, and Sugar City FM with rebroadcast on participating stations. Working for You.